What is going on today, guys? Welcome to the 21st episode of the DailyC show, and today is part 2 of an episode I did 2 days ago where I talked about how to make your day the most effective it can be when you have 2 ice time sessions, or when you just want to have the most productive day you can in terms of hockey development. So let's get straight into it after the intro. So, if you're trying to be effective and you're trying to utilize your day the best you can, you need to utilize the morning first of all. So, first priority should be trying to get on the ice right away. I like to do a skill session in the morning. Try to get a group of highly motivated guys or girls or players together, basically just to set up a development session and work on the right stuff. We're not gonna go into detail about what the right stuff is, but try to get on the ice before work. So this is assuming that you have some kind of work that you need to do. We kind of talked about the other option before, but if you have work, try to get the earliest possible ice session you can before work and get out for an hour. Make it work, and then have that protein shake and everything right after. Boom, go to work. Now, as soon as you're done work, what I would recommend is try to have a shinny hour or something like that right after work time, so that you can just go straight from work, grab something to eat on the way, or pack your own food, and then you're straight to the rink. Let's say you get straight to the rink and you have an extra 20 minutes or so. Don't be afraid to utilize that 20 minutes to have a quick nap or something like that, just to help recover a little quicker, or knock out some emails or whatever you got to do just to kind of set yourself up so you can be stress-free for that skate. So utilize that second skate. Also, throw back to that first skate for a second. What you can also do in that first skate is you can also do a rollerblading session. So let's say you can't get to the rink and you have work. Say you have work really early. Let's say it's starts at 7. I feel like that's a pretty early time for work to start in general. So let's say it starts at 7. Well, then why don't you get up at 5 and you can do a fasted morning, so you just grab some water or some tea or something like that, and then rip out on the rollerblades. Just use a stretch of road, go rollerblade around in it for a distance, and work on all of the right stuff. So I recommend using the downhill skating system, Mars blades, part of the course for that. But you can basically use whatever you think. Look up some drills on Instagram that are skating drills or rollerblading drills, and then do them on rollerblades. Pretty much you can do almost exactly the same thing, just minus the sliding stuff. But yeah, pretty much the same. So do that in the morning. Continuing on from the second skate, when you finish that second skate, I would recommend trying to fit in like a stretch or a light walk or a light jog after that skate. It'd be a really good way to help recover and speed up that recovery, remove that lactic acid, and then help your body get into recovery mode. Now, when you get home from that, now is the time you have a choice. You can either pick to hit your workout for the day and then relax after that, or hit up whatever you think makes sense. But try to utilize that extra time right after the skate when you get home really quick. Eat, get food in you right away, obviously after you've had a protein shake after the skate as well, because that's what we do. We have Gatorade powder for carbs and electrolytes and sodium, and then we have whey isolate or whatever protein you choose. Get quickly into the muscles, help those recover, and we are flying. So when we get home, we have that full meal. And then if you haven't been spending time with your family, I would recommend utilizing that time. Spend some time with your family. What you'll realize as you start to get more and more busy is that it's so important to take time to appreciate your family. Being away from home right now, I wouldn't say, I'm definitely not homesick, but you just have to remember that from the other people's perspective, they're going to be pretty disappointed when they don't get to see you as much. So when you have time, take that time to show them some appreciation, and just spend some quality time with them. You won't regret it in the long run. In the long run, you'll appreciate it more, and I think that it kind of takes a little bit of a stress off your mind. And if you have issues at home or whatever, then obviously it's contextual, so whatever makes the most sense. But if it makes sense, spend some extra time there. Then that might be for an hour, or maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but utilize some of that time. Now again, after that second skate, you're fitting in that workout, and you watch a hockey game, you watch the game really closely, so no distractions, no looking on your phone, none of that stuff, and just try to identify some different movement patterns, some things that you can try to replicate, and just allow your mind to really absorb the game. Gretzky, they used to say, would watch and trace around on a little rink and watch where the puck went. You don't necessarily have to go into that detail, but I want to see you dialed in. I often get caught up in kind of losing my focus when I watch the games, and I just think that there's so much value in focusing really, really closely and really watching, because these are the guys that you want to try to replicate and learn from and steal. Great artists steal. So steal what you can from these guys. They're literally showing you what they do. There's no secrets, you see it. So now you can figure that out and then find the right drills to replicate those movements and ingrain those patterns into your brain, and that's how you're going to improve. So whether you're a beer leaguer, whether you're a young player, whether you're a pro guy, whether you're a junior guy, whether you're in minor hockey, whatever you are, does not matter. I don't care. You can always utilize this whole concept. So your parents, if you're not old enough to drive, your parents can definitely get you out for at least one of those skates. Hopefully your parents are nice enough and care about you enough that they'll take you for that morning skate before their work, and then you could pay for an Uber driver or a taxi to drive you back home after. Maybe you have a friend who has a car, a little bit older. Start contacting people around you and just make the connections and make it work. So I hope this helps, and don't be afraid to really try to push the boundaries of what you can fit into a day. And then if it doesn't work, just change it. Remember, a huge principle in life is experimenting and then reflecting on it and then making adjustments and then moving forward and then repeating that process over and over and over and over again until you get what you want. Or if you're not getting what you want or headed there, then you just have to adjust the system. And the system is the course of actions you're taking on a daily basis. Every time you take action, you're completing that system, and that's what you want. So if you have more questions, I hope this helps. I think this is a little more general than usual, but I think it's important to realize that the overall above strategy, when you're looking down on it and generalizing it, is also just as important as the small details. Because if let's say you're doing a really job, imagine you're in a forest, this is a great analogy, and you're cutting through the forest. Now, if you can't see what's above, you might be headed in a direction that has 10 miles more of forest to cut through. Whereas, let's say you tweak your angle about maybe 45 degrees and say that turns into maybe it's 100 meters. And the only way you would know is if somebody was, let's say it's so the brush is so thick you can't walk through, so you can't just like look and see. But if you can look above, you can see above and you can see what direction to walk, and then you can call that out to yourself, or imagine you're with a group cutting through the forest. Weird analogy in that sense. You would be able to signal down and say, hey, you know what, change direction 45 degrees, and now you just saved yourself 9.9 kilometers or miles or whatever I just said of forest to cut through. That is a ton of savings. And this is the same thing for hockey. Let's tie it back to hockey here. So let's say you don't take time to plan out your strategy and you miss out on the extra 2 ice times, maybe an extra ice time a day. Maybe you miss out on like an extra 5-6 ice times per week. That's going to work out to an extra, let's say like 20 ice times per month. Over the course of the summer, that ends up being a very significant chunk of your summer training that you miss because you didn't take the time to strategize. So take the time to really put energy into strategizing and figuring out what you're trying to accomplish. And reflection is so huge. I saw on Instagram, Thomas Rosema, he talked about one of the main mental principles that you need to have is honest reflection. So honest reflection is so important because you need to take time to look at exactly what's going on and make real reflections on what you're doing. Not just like generalistic concepts, but really like dead on, look at it, come from above, strategize and figure out, am I going where I want? Is this getting me the results I want? If not, then you need to start adjusting. So took that on a little turn, went off on a little tangent about kind of mindset there. I often refer back to mindset because that is the operating system. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do on a computer. If the operating system isn't good enough and it doesn't function, then you're not really going to be able to accomplish anything. So your brain's the same way. You need your mindset to be right, and you need your brain functioning right in order to get the right things done, in order to succeed and get exactly where you want to go, just like I say. So keep crushing it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the podcasts as well. Leave a comment. Make sure to leave me a rating on the podcast. I really, really appreciate it. It really helps. And let's just keep crushing it together. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Just kidding.